Hi, this is Amy here with Voice Lab LA, and I have such a special guest. Hi, Whitney. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me. I'm so excited.
I know.
Awesome.
Okay, so Whitney, who is the founder of Songbird Studios, which is the premier place in San Francisco to go do voice lessons. She has 3 separate studios all over the city. How many students? 500?
We're just about 500 now, yeah.
All right, so she's killing it. What she's also done is created this amazing product, which if any of you guys have ever worked with me, you know I'm obsessed with a straw. I usually have these cheap red plastic straws that, like, whatever, are ruining the world, but not anymore, because Whitney has created the singing straw. And so what this does is, tell me.
Makes it easier for you to use Straw Phonation to make your voice better. As singers, as speakers, everybody.
Amazing. And
Yeah.
so who does it help? Because you said singers and speakers.
Oh, yeah.
So obviously singers, because all my singers use it.
Yes.
Who else?
Well, singers for sure, right? Like amateur and pro, because with amateur singers, this is helping build healthy technique.
Uh-huh.
With more advanced singers, you
Uh-huh.
can like really target specific things in your voice to improve. But voice users in general, right? We all speak, and that's the same thing that's happening as we're singing in term at the vocal fold level.
Mm-hmm.
So anybody who uses their voice a lot in work or in life, voiceover actors, all kinds of people who are using their voice a lot, teachers. This is going to help you keep your instrument healthy so that you can continue to use it and you don't lose your voice.
That's amazing. So like anybody who is just a normal person
Yes.
who loses their voice a
Yes,
lot, this can
100%.
help.
Yes.
This is a huge deal. This is a big thing.
I think so too.
It's quite magic. I'm really into that. Okay, so tell me why the
Yeah.
straw works.
Yeah, I mean, without getting too technical about it, it basically partially blocks the airflow as you're singing through it, which sends energy back to the vocal folds and helps them to work more efficiently.
Is it better as a warm-up, a cool-down, a relaxer? Tell me.
I use it all those ways. It is like the number one way I introduce it to students and my singers is as a warm-up. That's like the most traditional use of it, and it's fantastic because it's quiet. You can do it in your apartment and people might not, they won't hear you. I honestly did it on the plane ride here, and the guy next to me didn't care, didn't even notice.
He probably thought you were crazy. He just didn't say
Well,
anything. It's okay.
So you look insane.
But
I
we're
didn't
all
bother.
crazy. So
Singers
whatever.
are all crazy.
We're all crazy.
in a good
It's
way.
fine. Yeah.
So warm-ups are it's efficient and quick. So it's like it takes like a normal warm-up, it cuts it in half, which I think is really magical.
Okay, so that's a big thing.
Yeah.
Because why? And I always like to talk about vocal calories.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yes.
Because that's just where my mind is being a woman right now is calories. Thank
Yes.
you. And when you have, let's say, 1,500 calories in the
Totally.
day, you don't want to spend 700
Warming up.
warming up.
100% agree with you.
So that's a big deal. By
Yes.
the way, I'm coining vocal calories.
I
I don't know,
love it.
like TM. What do I say? Like, what's that little thing?
TM.
Thank you.
Yep,
Vocal
trademark.
calories, trademark.
Yep. I love
Maybe
it.
you don't trademark a word.
Yeah. Yes, you do.
Fine. Whatever. It's not what this show's about. It's me vocal. Okay.
We're off track.
Vocal calories half the time.
Half the time,
That's a big
half
deal.
the vocal calories, and then the calories you're using are more efficient. If you guys follow us on the metaphor, it just means that as I'm vocalizing, every time I sing or speak, my vocal folds are hitting hundreds, thousands of times, depending on where I'm going.
Okay.
So this is just making that the most efficient it can be, and so it gets you more bang for your buck.
Okay, so let's talk about different ways to use it.
Yeah.
And we're going to show you examples.
Yes, we are.
Okay, so number 1, when you're sick, a la you.
Yes, use it throughout the day to keep inflammation down. So it's proven, so with the back pressure that we talked about, that airflow sending back to the vocal folds, that's proven to help reduce inflammation, which also can help relieve extrinsic tension, which as you know, can really help, that extrinsic tension can be one of the big causes for fatigue.
Huge. If not the number 1 only.
Yes.
That's what it is. It's tension.
Yeah.
Muscle tension.
Exactly.
So I like a lot of people after I do a manipulation, I say this is going to make the manipulation last longer.
100%.
Yeah.
Yes, it's going to hold on to it for them.
Yeah, so that's why I like it. Okay,
So
good.
when you're
proving what I do. Love it.
tired, sick, or inflamed in any way, like maybe you went to a concert the night before, strained a little too much, went out, whatever it is.
Life.
Doing a little bit of this right when you wake up in the morning. And the straw, we'll talk about this, but a little goes a long way. You don't need to be doing it for hours on end.
Okay,
in
so
fact,
how do you do it?
I can do it for a minute or two.
Okay.
And frequently, especially if you're doing it for inflammation.
Okay.
You can do it like 2-3 times a day, 5 times a day, but for a minute each time.
Great.
It's resetting the vocal folds in the most efficient posturing so that you then don't snowball. A lot of times with singers who are tired or speakers who are tired or sick, you push and push and push, and then it gets worse and worse and worse.
Muscle through it. Don't muscle through it. Don't muscle through it.
Because when you muscle through it, you're just hitting the vocal folds harder. They swell up bigger. You gotta push harder.
Yeah.
And it's a nasty cycle.
And that's it. And by the way, I tell people like 99% of all voice disorders that I see are from people who are sick who muscle through it, or people who are tired who muscle through it, or people who are fill in the blank and muscle through it. Don't muscle through it. Get a straw.
Yes. This helps to reset. It starts you back at that healthier baseline.
Okay.
And then if you start to feel yourself pushing again or getting a little bit louder, you can be like, oh, calm down. Reset,
so you glide.
Feel better.
Show me your glide.
I do a huge glide. I mean, honestly, though, you can do anything. And we can talk about options. Great. But like my go-to is just to start vocalizing.
Let's hear it.
Whatever's in my voice, like whatever's in my head. But that glide. All the way back down.
Break free.
Yeah.
Lovely. Okay, so do you like to glide in your chest or your head or both?
I honestly like to go through both.
Okay.
And I also tell my students don't stress too much unless you're working your transition about where you're transitioning. Because without getting into too much, this changes where your transition can happen due to acoustics.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about transition. Yes. And this is where this bold line that says transition. Hopefully. If it doesn't, just imagine transition. Transition.
Yes.
What do we do for transition?
Saggio, whatever you want to call it, right? The part where your voice goes from one sort of feeling to another. Where you crack.
Part, right?
So
the puberty.
Yes, totally. This helps to smooth that out because what's causing that break or that transition? Muscular imbalance.
Totally.
And so if I use the straw, it's going to keep my heavier muscles on the bottom from overacting on the way up.
Beautiful.
Helps them to hand off a little bit more smoothly.
Perfect.
And then helps to strengthen those upper muscles on the top.
Wow.
This
is magic.
It really is magic.
Oh,
I say that, but it is.
It's
then magic for me and my students.
Wow. Okay, now we're going to show this with magic glitter around. I don't even know if these things can happen. I just want to do it and say it and put it out in the universe.
I've totally seen it. They could happen.
Matt, make it happen. Okay, so magic, transition.
Yes.
Show me a little transition-y thing you would do.
So I could take any of your favorite scales. I highly advocate longer scales when you're working transition because you want to be going lower and higher. So you want to make sure that the scales you're using are activating both sides.
So an octave.
Yeah, could be an octave. So you can go, or you could do an octave and a half.
Fancy.
And you can take that up and down.
Do you like scales versus glides?
I like both.
Oh, okay.
I use both, and it depends on what I'm targeting.
Okay.
So whatever you're working on at the time, and like I said, you can warm yourself up with it. You can use it for rehabilitation or maintenance or just healthy, voice. And then if you're targeting your transition, then I would do long scales. I would do exercises that run you back and forth and over that handoff. And that's what's going to help to just train your vocal. It's reminding your vocal tract how to do things in the best way, healthiest way, and then therefore smoothest way.
How many times a day do you like to do it?
Well, when I'm working on it as rehabilitation, like I said, a little bit, multiple times a day. If you are working it for technique, I would just do it once or twice a day. It can even be every other day. Honestly, it just depends on how serious you are about changing your voice.
Everybody who watches this is serious about it.
Good, get
serious. They're
They're
not going to watch this if they're not serious.
I mean, what do you usually think?
So I'll tell people, depends. If it's somebody who's rehabbing, I'll make it a little bit less. Because I just say a little less voice use in general.
Yes.
Depending on what's going on with your voice.
Totally.
So I'll say twice a day.
Yes. For only a little bit.
A minute.
Yep.
Like a minute.
Totally.
Twice a day, gliding for a minute.